Ooh, we got an interesting day of news today, man. We got to talk about Starfield potentially coming to PlayStation. There's a rumor out there going off. We're going to get to that here in a minute. And there's a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of Avowed information that dropped on the internet. And I got the highlights, the ones that I particularly want to talk about. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming at you with another video. I guess we're going to start with the not so great news. I mean, at this point, I don't care, but I know a lot of people. This is very, people attack me pretty consistently when I talk about any Xbox game going to PlayStation. And look, man, I can't help that this is in the news. Like, to me, you gotta look inward. I'm just reporting what everyone else is reporting. Don't attack the messenger. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. But let's pop over here to Zobi Tech. Now, he's been a little inconsistent here lately, what I will say. Not inconsistency, that's probably the wrong term. He's been kind of hit and miss. He's saying that rumored Starfield PlayStation 5 port is coming to announcements coming next week. Now, there is a rumor that there's a state of play next week. So, ideally, I guess you would see this announcement be there. Now, let me be very clear with these type of rumors. Do I think Starfield is coming to PlayStation? Yes. Do I think Starfield's announcement is coming next week? I don't know. But let's not take anything that's on the internet these days and automatically run with it. Because one thing I will say is because we've seen so many games are getting ported to the PlayStation platform recently with the Xbox, from the Forza franchise to, games such as the Age of Empire. There's been a lot of games that's been going over to PlayStation from Xbox, or at least the announcement. These games ain't officially over there yet. Just because that's happening does not mean that everything you see on the internet is true. Right now, with the perception that's going on, I could say Halo's coming out and it's getting announced next week, and most people are going to run with it. Anyone right now can make a rumor up about the Xbox platform. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Because in my personal opinion, Starfield's coming to PlayStation. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But I do want you guys to understand that right now, it is very easy to gaslight the hell out of the internet into any form of announcements and games coming to PlayStation. That's why I wanted to be clear on that. I think Starfield, look, I personally like Starfield. Do I think it was like Bethesda's best game they've ever made? No. I think, and this is my opinion, maybe you guys can put in the comment section below, I believe Fallout 3 was a better game than Starfield. Fallout New Vegas was a better game than Starfield. That was technically made by Obsidian. But I guess we'll just talk about the Fallout franchise. I really enjoyed, Morrowind. I really enjoyed Oblivion, Skyrim. Fallout 4 was even a good game. Now, it's probably just as good as Fallout 4, because even like Starfield and Fallout 4, they're good games on their own. But I don't think they're the best Bethesda games. Because some of the old Bethesda games were like instant classics, and that's where we're kind of in the middle. I don't know, how would you guys feel? If you guys are Bethesda fans, put in the comment section where Starfield falls in line with you. Me, it's towards the end. Doesn't mean it's a bad game, because, look, Bethesda, they've made some buggy games, besides maybe 76. I think that's a little bit different. Right now, I think they've turned that game around dramatically. But in terms of launch, I wouldn't even really compare something like Starfield to 76. But besides that game, Bethesda's never made a bad game. They've just made buggy games. And even Fallout 76, it was a bad game at launch, but they have corrected a lot of the issues that game had going into it. So where do you guys see that? I'm very curious. Avowed, man. For those of you that haven't been keeping up with everything that's going on, essentially what was going on is Avowed got kind of like a little bit dogpiled on the internet not too long ago. And the reason it was being dogpiled is because one of the people in an interview, obviously it was ILP, when Cog asked him about a performance mode, he kind of felt like, and to my opinion, there wasn't going to be a 60 frames mode. And I don't know if that ended up triggering them getting more time, because they did get more time. And there was a bunch of interviews, and I'm going to put them in the comment section below so you can go watch them. Well, one particularly is going to be in the comment section. And essentially what ended up happening is, I don't know if that led to them focusing more on it, which led to a 60 frames mode, or there was always going to be a 60 frame mode. The person just spoke out of term. So I'm kind of curious on that. Now let's go over. There is this interview that was done by Minimax. It's a YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the comment section below. They did 175 rapid fire questions on Carrie. Carrie is the person that is in charge of Avowed, and they asked her a lot of good questions. Obviously, they gave her a lot of outs, which I respect. But I want to go over exactly what some of the things were and go and give my opinion on it. The size of Avowed is the same size as the Outer Worlds. I'm perfectly fine with this. It's not open world, it's open area. Her words, not mine. I like to use the word hub-based, where it's like certain regions, you go to another region to another region. To me, that's essentially the same thing. I don't know what the scope of open world. Maybe it's, I don't know what exactly would you guys define as open world. To me, open world is you could go do anything you want to in the area that you're at. Maybe your guys' opinion, open world is you could see the whole map at the same time, and I could see how that would be a little bit different. So essentially, it's the same size of the Outer Worlds, and the Outer Worlds was a great, sizable game. I think the Outer Worlds 2 is supposed to be twice the size. I think that's what the narrator in that trailer said. Enemies do not scale with your level. I'm a little disappointed with this. And then I'm not disappointed with this. I do know that there are a lot of people that get annoyed with going into levels that certain areas that are just so much stronger than you. And that's essentially what's most likely going to happen in this game. You're going to go into areas that essentially are going to be out leveled to you, maybe even double your level. That's what a lot of RPGs like this have done. I remember back in Odyssey, when you popped up the map, it would literally tell you what section and what level they recommend you be in. That's pretty important on that. A dialogue is extremely important Avowed, which is good because we're coming off games such as Velguard, where it felt like the dialogue took second approach. But it does look like Avowed is going to be the center of attention in terms of dialogue. And I vibe with that, because to me, these games, and maybe you guys could put in the comment section below if you disagree, dialogue's the most important thing with these type of games. With the conversations with your companions, you want to have very good protagonists and antagonists, and the way that happens is good dialogue. Now, obviously, these type of games, the main character doesn't speak. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the main character have a voice is a nice thing, but I don't mind if it doesn't. I know a lot of people are real big on that, and I get it. You cannot equip your allies. I'm a little disappointed in that, man. I like being able to equip some of the weapons I get into it, and they in this interview they did kind of point out that if you have a firearm, you're never gonna have to reload. So clearly you don't have any type of ammunition here. I don't really particularly know how I feel about that either. But one thing I will say is, guys, at the end of the day, some of this stuff is nitpicking, and apparently there's no new game plus. Disappointed with that too. I feel like you should have a new game plus in every single player game. New game plus should be the end all be all. We should be rocking with that. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't see New Game Plus as an important concept. I do. I feel like if you play any game and you beat that game as a single player game, they should let you roll that back, run that back. Now, obviously, the developers could decide on what type of New Game Plus they want to do. Some developers have taken it a different way. I really like Starfield's form of New Game Plus, where you got reborn as a Starborn and you redid the game, and it would change the dialogue depending on the choices you made and how many times you've been reborn. I thought that was a a very unique way of doing New Game Plus. That's just my personal opinion on that. And the biggest thing that we found out today from this interview, and it's been leaking a little bit. I didn't really want to make a video off one thing, but thankfully this Mini Max person, once again, it's going to be in the description below. Guys, go check it out. Very good. It's like a 13-minute video. Very good video. Avowed has a performance mode. It's got, now I get it. You know, people were very, very up in the air if this game was going to have a performance mode. Look, to my opinion, if we're going to have these consoles and they're able to do it, we should have a performance mode. I understand it costs more money to do this stuff. I get it, and I'm not going to act like it doesn't. I'm not going to act like it doesn't take time and resources, but to me, if you're selling a high-end console such as the Xbox Series X, it should have a 60 frames mode. It should. There's no way around that. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Out of everything I said, what is the most thing that's important to you? And then you can even put in the conversation. I know you guys are going to talk about the Starfield thing, because here's the thing. We over the Starfield stuff. We over the games going to PlayStation stuff. It is what it is. I was so excited to see all of this Avowed information hit the fan. And I just want to update you guys, educate you guys. But in terms of Starfield going over, it is what it is. We hope at my channel, we hope that Xbox and Microsoft's way of thinking, the new direction they're going, we hope that works out for everyone, including the people that own hardware. And it is what it is in terms, because it's happening regardless. Now, I'm going to cover it because I cover the industry news on this channel. So don't think you're ever going to bully me into not covering, because a lot of you love to try to do that. Say, Addict, why are you covering this stuff? Because I want to. But put in the comment section below what you guys feel about the Starfield thing, the Avowed stuff. Is there any particular announcement that got you guys more excited than other ones? I'm very curious your guys' opinion. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content on here. We talk about news. We give you updates on games. We review games. We do it all over here. We really cover like the front line. Front line. King's going to love that. The front line of the gaming industry, man. Try to keep you guys up to date. But anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a great weekend. We're out of here. Peace.